Okay, cool. All right. So we are doing an infantry overhaul, by the way, guys. But um, it doesn't change the way how like it won't change the gameplay really much. It's just animations, the how you move, run, the shooting feeling, aiming down, looking around. But it it as the gunplay mechanic, it will feel very similar. So that is one goal I'm trying to make it that it doesn't change too much of what you call how it was playing before. Overall, what do you call it has been almost 1.5 week that I have been working on it, and then it's almost finished. I could show a couple of work in progress of it, but it's an separate project. Like I'm working on it on separate project, and then what do you call I'll integrate to the BattleBit that way, so it doesn't actually have everything on it. Addition to this, um, we have started working with the sound studio that we are working with to start transition to the different audio engine, VWise, which is the industry standard audio engine. Um, what this will do is pretty much they have more tools now that they can work with. Pretty much what they will do is they will simulate wars in VWise. Like they will, for example, go in and make 100 people shooting at the same time, and then they will try to adjust that. What do you call it? It sounds great, pretty much. Because the thing is, if they don't use VWise, we are stuck with Unity, and then the thing is, they have to do all this in Unity, which they cannot. So VWise is like a platform that it separates the audio developers with us. So they work their side, we work our side, and then we combine each other pretty much. So they started on that, but probably on next update we will still keep using Unity. What do you call probably like next 2 to 3 months or a bit more longer, then we will transition to VWise. Additionally, guys, last 2 to 3 months, actually longer, there is a huge design topics we are discussing. Like in general, we're trying to figure out the curse problems in as a design in BattleBit. Like I know that most of you guys have been enjoying BattleBit, some of you not, but in general, we want to make a game where you work as a team, right? Because we literally made a game that is called Tactical. Actually, I can share my screen. Hold up, just a second.
Yeah, the tactical cooperative shooter. That's the original
Okay,
idea that
so
we wanted.
yeah, I'm gonna come to it in a second because this is really important, I think. And then it kind of shows that what we should be doing again. Hold up, screens one. So pretty much we're gonna have some drastic changes in the game to either go through what we were originally were trying to do or shift it to something more fun or different. So battery master, if you go to store page, it is pretty much locally massive multiplayer supporting server path. There we go. And then if you go down, primary features, like it's pretty much what do you call um, the the team play. Like that was pretty much the goal was team play. So what you do is you group up with some peoples, and then what you do is uh, play together and fight against an objective. So the gameplay loop is supposed to be where you play with other people to reach an objective, but the game loop is completely different. It is not what it's supposed to be. What it is you literally go and then flank and then what do you call? the best person who flanks and kills the most player literally wins. Like this is the game loop because it's the most efficient way of it. And then because the way how we designed the game around objectives, but how it plays, they are completely different. The problem is it's not communicating well, and the game only serves people who really likes what they call. Yeah, I'm short by the way. Sharing screen the desktop is not screen really much. Uh, I wanted to show the Steam store like that people are kind of promoting as what kind of game it is. Like this game is supposed to be this way. So we have been looking around why the gameplay plays different than what we have been trying to make it work. So because we have been trying to make it okay, let's make game objectives more important. Let's try to make what you call um, the winning more important, right? But we tried them. Generally, they did not work. Like generally, nobody cared because most people who came to this game are more like the what you call they want to just shoot people and kill them. But other problem is then you start questioning what you call um, okay, what parts did we make mistakes? So we examine other games. Some did some game design stuff. Talk with other game developers, not only the like not ourselves. We talk with some industry veterans that you are familiar with Star Wars, Call of Duty, Apex. Those developers who are also been in industry for a while, other games as well. Like they're really industry veterans, and then try to understand what is the problem in BattleBit as a design. Like because we are also new in this, and those guys are more in the industry and they know what they're doing. Apparently, the problems are mostly because we are focusing on teamwork, and then one of the problems of teamwork doesn't really work the way how we expect as gamers because we came from gaming. Like we didn't go, I didn't go game design school. I didn't go any kind of what do you call like this kind of stuff. I was just playing game and then what do you call just try to make a game. So um, in order to make people to work into team, generally what requires is there has to be some one person um, ordering objectives and then others. So for example, I'm going to use paint again. So you have the A person here that is the leader, and then you have other people here following orders from this person. So in order to play team play, there has to be one plan that everyone agrees on and everyone executes on it. So what happens is there has to be one leader and everyone applying this idea of it. The problem is like listening someone's orders is not always the fun thing, and not everyone wants it. So what happens is this is what we expected, and then this is the reality. Everyone is leader, 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 and nobody listens. Nobody. Everyone has their own plan. You get the idea. Everyone is leader themselves. They have tons of plans. Okay, let's go A and let's go B. Let's go C. Kill this guy. I don't know. We go to this roof, but there is nobody to really go and then listen to his orders. Everyone is leader themselves, and then what happens is everyone is like army themselves. So we look at okay, which games actually makes teamwork work actually? Like why those games really work? The biggest one is Squad in and Arma 3 as well, and also later on the actually battle royale games. I will come to that in a second. Like battle royale games actually much more
Team focused.
team play than yeah they are much more team play than actually BattleBit, and then this was surprising, but it's because of the game design and how it puts into the player is a thing. By the way, we want to implement in battle royale. Just I was looking into it and then trying to figure out. So yeah, in the game right now, everyone is leader themselves, so nobody really follows each other. It's just a mess. Okay. In the game squad, what happens is, in the game squad, they filter out anyone who is doesn't want to follow orders. Like for example, if you're in a game squad and then if you go and then do whatever you want, you don't follow the squad leader, you just get banned, or you just kicked from the server, right? So this means they could potentially have much more players, but they filter out anyone who really doesn't do this stuff. Like who just wants to be Blizzard himself, don't want to follow anyone else. And then they have less players, but while they have less players, they combine all these people who wants to actually role play, which is this is actually role playing. You're playing a role under a leader. You are playing a role of you are a military person. You're supposed to be taking orders from someone else, and you shouldn't supposed to question it. Like right, like this. And when the entire lobby is people filled with this mindset, then it actually works. And then later on, I look at okay, other what other, and then what do you call the Apex Legends, and then the PUBG, Fortnite. Like, I know it sounds uh, against what I have been saying, but the thing is, those games they have much more teamwork than us, and then I'm trying to figure out why people actually stick together in those games. Like, for example, in the BattleBit, what squads really do work? Like, we have squads, we know it. There's like eight people can be together in one squad, but nobody sticks together. And I'm trying to figure out why people don't stick together. Like we are looking at the other games, people do stick together, but in BattleBit nobody cares. And it just turns out people stick together when people feel danger around them. So like for example, if people feel danger around them, they feel like okay, they have to be together, so they support each other. And that the feeling of the feeling of danger around them is making them together. And then in BattleBit, you have 120 people around you. You have 120 teammates around you. Of course, you won't feel in danger because there's so many people around you that can revive you, help you. So why stick with your squad? So pretty much, by making a game where you have too many people around you, it completely makes the squad system obsolete. And then what do you call if that? I hope I'm making sense here. What do you call? Um,
For
what
now,
do
I
you
think
call?
you're only confusing the people because anything I see right now is that everyone understood it as you want to push the game into this hardcore direction. That is not
No,
right.
no, no, no.
We want to
We are not trying
incentivize
to push you
more
to.
in team play, that you more play with the people within your squad. Um,
We have been trying to, yeah, exactly. We have been so far. We have been adding gadgets, content, or whatever features we think that the game requires for more team play, and then anything we do did not improve. Like as a team play, anything we did as more objective focused gameplay, nothing really improved on it. So we're trying to learn from it, and then okay, this is the game loop we are making. This is the things we are implementing, and they don't match. Why? And then try to learn from it so we don't repeat the mistake, and then do something else now. So this is the sort of the lessons. We learn a lot of lessons, by the way, in the 6 months, like after the game released, what went wrong as game design. By the way, like if you guys think that game will do better if we had more content, I don't think so. I don't really believe that
no,
the
it would
game
not.
will do better if we had more. Like because we did try to implement content, not as gun. More guns doesn't really make it more interesting because you know it. You're already 150 level, 100, 200 level to prestige one. You're gonna unlock that weapon in what 1 day, maybe not, or you already have unlocked it. It will only serve 5 seconds of content to you. You will get into the game and then you will consume that content in 5 seconds. That's it. So that is worthless to me. I think we should like what do you call that 5 second content will not make people get back to the game. Like that's it. Just that's it. So we have been trying to look more fundamental problems. So um, what do you call? In short, more content, more guns to the game. It won't make it more better game. It's just we're gonna add more pile of guns, and then there will be a couple of metas, and then that's it. People can keep using it. And then, like, I know there's more games where they have much more customization, they have much more guns, but their game design just fails, and then people don't play it. So more customization, more content doesn't make it better. Sally, it's an addition if there's a good core gameplay. So when we look at it, um, there are a couple things that also stands out. The first thing is also the second actually thing is TTK. I came from bit more hardcore servers of Battlefield 4. Velocity came from Milsim. So in both of those games, there was always fast time to kill. So we both enjoyed fast time to kill. We didn't want to really put too much bullets into someone, and then we implemented it. And and now today we really realized it was the worst decision we made. The main reason is um, fast CTK doesn't work on chaotic in nature. It only works like we look other games. Okay, which games have TTK? Which games doesn't have fast TTK? The fast TTK only works when like as a fun mechanic. It only works when uh, you can focus on the enemies that you're shooting, which is normally 2 or 3 players. Like for example, CS:GO or CS2 at this point, or Rainbow, because what you do is you actually do listen amount of what do you call amount of sounds around you, the things that are can so you can track of 3 people, 4 people in your mind, but you can't track 150 people. At that point, it becomes a chaos. It becomes tiring. And then what do you call? We look at other games which doesn't have fast CTK, and they are generally involves more than 4 to 5 people into the fight. So, and then we look at battle royale games. Why battle royale games are very popular? Why do they actually work very well? So, the battle royale game actually has what 100 player, right? But there's a big but. How many people do you fight at the same time? Generally, most of the time, it's generally one squad versus one squad, which is 3 versus 3 or 4 versus 4, whatever the game we are playing, right? So, despite there's 100 players in the map, most of your fights are 3 versus 3, or sometimes 3 versus 3 versus 3. But generally, there's no case that 40 people doesn't engage each other at the same time in the same place. And then what this does is, okay, look at this from chart perspective. Oh, this is bad. There you go. So this is the chart. Imagine this is action, and this is the time. So you're walking around, and then what happens is suddenly there's action. You have a spike of action, and then it goes down. And then what happens? There's a sudden of action, goes up, down, because like you're running, and then you find someone, you do firefight, sudden action, bump, and then you go down. Sudden action, go down. Like there's time between action, and then there's time between what they call calming down as well. So there's a time where you calm down, you rest, you digest what just happened, you take time, and then there's time where you don't digest, you just like what you call fight into it. And you look at also what you call horror games as well. For example, this is one of the examples. In horror games, they don't scare they don't scare the time. They don't scare the player all the time. They scare the player and then they wait. They scare the player then they wait. Because other way, if they scare the player all the time, the player just quits the game because it's just too scary for them. Okay,
Too
what is the
scary
graph for
or
BattleBit?
too boring?
Too tiring to
Yeah.
play. It gets tiring to play. Okay, how it looks in BattleBit? In BattleBit, it looks like this: constant action. There's almost um, no time where you're out of combat. It's always constant action. And the problem with this is, okay, this is nice at first, but the thing is, this is tiring. And then, okay, imagine you have a sweet, you have some kind of sweet that you love eating. Imagine you eat it every single day, morning and evening. What happens? You feel no longer it's no longer something you won't enjoy it anymore. like because you're eating every single. Imagine eating every once in a month. That will be much more delicious. But if you're eating every single day, it's gonna be what do you call? You're gonna get sick of it pretty much. So first problem in BattleBit is, as game design is, you are constantly in action. Like you're constantly in action as a person. This is tiring, exhausting. Most people play this game just casually. Like they just want to get casually into a game, play a couple of rounds, enjoy it. But what they end up with, it's more frustrating and tiring experience. This is one of the problems that BattleBit has. The second is fast time to kill. Alright, I'm coming to that problem right now. So, fast time to kill. I can't write in with the mouse. Anyway,
I think nobody can ride with a mouse.
okay. Fast time to kill. Fast time to kill is very punishing. How is it punishing? It is punishing because if you make a slight mistake, if instead of going from left or right, you choose the middle one and you didn't know there was a guy, you get punished for it. And then generally, when does this punishment make sense? Because you didn't listen enough. Because you didn't listen your surroundings enough, or you did not pay attention. Like in all those games where fast time to kill is there, the the game provides you something, a sound, something that, hey, something happened. Keep this in your mind. If you don't, you're gonna get punished. In BattleBit, you cannot, because there's so much stuff happening all at the same time. There's no way you're gonna be actually keeping in mind that something happened around you that you will really just go and then what do you call um really focus on that part and then actually do tactically go instead and kill someone or not kill them, not even engage them. So, and third of all, I mentioned before, second and third was what you call our graphics are way too simple as well, and the bullets are way too fast. You can pretty much kill anyone with aim 4 with like a sniper, because generally everything is very accurate and really easy to hit due to the graphics, due to the hitboxes, everything. So when you combine this nature of the fast time to kill, you have 100 people around you. There's another 100 people around you as the enemy, and then you have buildings that has destruction. That has what you call tons of windows, and then what you call, which you have no way you're gonna be actually aware of how where you're gonna get shot, how you're gonna what do you call move forward because you cannot know possibly all these windows, etc. And when everything is easy to hit, it becomes a very messy gameplay. And then yes, it's chaotic. It could be fun for the first time, but it's definitely not long-term sustainable.
Yeah,
And I think one of the like proofs are player numbers as well. It's one of the proofs that despite everyone has positive, like I talk with a lot of people who play the game for 1 hour and then they left, like because the problem is I want to understand their part of it. I don't like. I'm trying to understand why these people played and then left. Like I'm trying to figure out what made them left the game after 1 hour. All of them say this: "Hey, the game is super cool." Like they say, "Oh, 250 people. Yeah, it's super cool. You have so much destruction." Me and my buddy we played for 1 hour and then we just spawned and we died and then we couldn't understand what was happening and then we just didn't want to play because it was just too tiring. And then that tells something like, okay, I know you guys are here. Most of you guys are here. You guys here because you guys paid more attention to it and actually learned it. But this is the problem. It is supposed to be arcade, what do you call, more just something you can get into really fast. It's actually not. Like it's actually not something a game that you can just get into and play anymore. At the when we launched in the early access, at least everyone was a bit more in the equal level. Not exactly, but at least bit more. But it has been 6 months, and then there's a lot of people who memorize the maps, memorize strategies, memorize all the flanks, memorize all the things that actually makes them get more kills. And then Anyone who gets into this game, they have no chance really much. So what can we do right now? What do you call? What can we do?
Um, quick
First,
in between. Because I see it a bunch in the chats. Yes, the
yeah,
game is advertised as like chaotic 256 players, and it will still stay chaotic. Yet that the level it is right now, it is just too chaotic for a good introduction into the game. Anyone that joins the game at its current time, the learning curve is just too steep and makes it really unsatisfying to play the game. And that is the issue we're
the
looking at. That's why we will try to
one
introduce
of
like
them, one of
one
them,
of them.
yeah.
That's why we will try to introduce gaps within the chaotic. It will still stay chaotic. It will still be chaotic because it's just the amount of players that we're working with. Yet we'll try to introduce these gaps that it becomes more and more refreshing and is not as tiring as it is right now. It might be fine to play for like 2-3 rounds, but after 2-3 rounds for casual player, and we're not talking about like the hardcore dopamine level players here, um, for 99% of the player base, the game is just too chaotic or too unsatisfying, too tiring to play for more than 1 or 2 hours. And that is an issue we are facing. And that pretty much relates to what we see right now with the player base. Is it's just too tiring. People are tired of playing the game and rebuilding this
The
gameplay loop. Uh,
one thing there is there. So for interrupting, there's one thing. It's okay to be steep if we advertise as a game like that. For example, Escape from Tarkov also is very steep as well. But
yeah,
there's a huge but. Escape from Tarkov and people who plays, they advertise the game as, hey, if you play this game, you're gonna be effed for a while. Like the mindset of people who gonna play it for the first time, they expect it to be this way because they get into the game with this idea of, hey, this game's a hardcore like what a hardcore game. I will definitely get killed easily. Like they enter that game with that kind of mindset. In BattleBit, no, they expect what do you call, more of a battlefield experience that they played. So they do expect game to translate their previous experiences, and it doesn't. And then that's where one of the problems are as well. So the game is advertised as an arcade casual game, more like, but it doesn't play like that because the learning curve is so huge. But the thing is, despite arcade or not, that will be happening in all games. Like it doesn't matter. And then I know everyone hates here, but I'm not saying this is a solution. It's one of the solutions that games does try. Skill-based matchmaking. What they do is they try to match the skills, but generally it creates a lot of other problems than solving it. So I'm not saying it's the answer. It is one of the answers that industry is trying to do because there's not much they can do really. What they do is, okay, this guy plays really well, so let's match this guy with other more skilled players. So this guy feels a challenge to play the game still, and then still it doesn't ruin the people who plays worse. So, but we can't do skill based matchmaking for a bit. That's
oh,
just illusion.
skill
So,
based matchmaking will never exist. And
for BattleBit, yeah,
decimal, you can
at
stop
least.
like writing it. It will not exist. Stop spreading misinformation.
So, anyway, in short, guys, the last 6 months we have been doing updates like towards more objective, more teamwork based gameplay. But the game wasn't playing as a teamwork; it was playing as you are solo, and then you flank, and then you kill as much as possible. Like, actually, entire gameplay loop is this: you flank as much as fast as possible, and you kill as many people as possible before you killed. Because let's say you kill one player, there will be second one. If you kill second player, there will be third one because it's just too many people. If you kill third player, there will be fourth one. So it doesn't matter if you get into firefight, you almost 90% of the time you're certain you will die. It's just the matter of how many people you can kill before you die. This is literally the game right now. This is the game loop right now. It's a game of how many players you can kill before you get killed. Like this is the entire gameplay right now. If you look from very simple perspective, you spawn, you kill as much as people before you kill. It's literally one single sentence. Is this the game we want to make? No, but this is how it plays. And the problem is, this is the most efficient way to play, and then people are gonna play it the way people are gonna play it as the most efficient way. So this now it creates a question. Okay, what can we do? The first thing is the what do you call the biggest answer is generally lower the player count, but we don't want to do that. This is like the high player count was the one of the unique things about BattleBit, which made the gameplay loop very actually bad designed, or actually made it much worse. So most of the time, we're trying to right now just think, really try to figure out, okay, how can we make the game actually work as something more paced while keeping the 350 player. And then the thing is, there's there's no really answer yet. It's just there's really not much answer we couldn't find yet. There's a lot of ideas, of course. You can take out. For example, there's like the first one was the you actually like remove the squad spawning or make it more what do you call limited. But then we are looking at why people do spawn each other because they don't enjoy walking, and then that's the only way to fast transport themselves. So just removing it, it makes it more unfun. Like uh, the removing it doesn't solve it. It just blocks one of the ways that people make it more fun. This is the problem. Giving speed to anyone who forwarders, this is really doesn't work because we already have it. Nobody cares about XP. They just want to go and shoot people. Like this is the actual thing. So I'm gonna get into the battle royale why they are a bit more successful. In battle royale, you have one people, but 96 of them. Oh, that's about that. 96 of them are enemy. So and then generally, okay, this is where the fast time to kill actually becomes a problem. In battle royale games, because killing a player takes a while, and because generally if you shoot at a player, other player's gonna kill you. What happens is you generally know that you cannot kill 4 players alone yourself. You cannot kill 4 players as one. So the most efficient way to play the game is actually team up with other your squad, because you have this idea of, okay, if I play alone, I will not able to kill 4 players. Like of course there will be cases where you have extremely good aim or whatever, but you will overcome other guys, but 90% of the time you aren't able to do that. What do you call? But what they do is they also try to make it that you still have a chance. Like you don't make it impossible, but they make it like slightly possible. So this way, if your squad mates gets killed, you still keep playing with the hope of, okay, I'm a single person that is left, but I can still keep going and maybe I have a possibility of winning. So they don't make it impossible, but they make it very difficult. So most efficient way to play is actually playing with your team because there's a danger around them. So this design actually really good design. Now, if you think about it, it's actually really good design. You have a lot of people, massive, yes. Does it make you stick with your squad? Yes. How most efficient way to play? With your squad. And this is the reason why Battle Royale games were and still somewhat very popular. It's a really good game design. And that's why people do enjoy it. So, but we won't be adding Battle Royale to Battle, but that's not the point. We're just trying to figure out, okay, why this game actually succeeds and why do they actually make it work. So, one thing is, because there's not much fast time to kill, like it's not like BattleBit or Skull or Tarkov. Yeah, you cannot generally kill 3 players or 4 players as one, because it can take some bullets, it can take some sound, and generally the other players will have time to react to your actions. In BattleBit, that's not the case. In BattleBit, if you flank, before you empty your magazine, you're gonna kill easily 4 to 5 players. And when the most efficient way to play is literally just what you call just most efficient way to play is literally just run around and kill as much as people alone. That's what people plays. So the first thing we wanted to do is uh, we definitely have to change the TTK in Velvet. This is the worst decision we made because we enjoyed fast TTK in games where we played in the squad in the Battlefield hardcore, but all those games the fast time to kill actually did make sense for the player count, for the amount of chaos that was happening. It did make sense, but in BattleBit, no. The second problem we have is actually destruction. Destruction is really cool. We won't remove it, but I'm just pointing out destruction actually doesn't work with 300 people because it makes it more chaotic. It doesn't add something to the game. Sadly, this is the reality, guys. I mean, I don't like it. I spent almost a year on destruction. Velasquez spent a lot of time on it. We don't really like to call it, but this is the reality, guys. Destruction makes the chaos more chaos because now instead of just windows, you can have a brick somewhere that is just you can just what they call break a single brick, and then look from that hole and then play it, right?
Yeah. So
And
it
this makes it more chaotic.
makes it unpredictable, and consistency is in most of these games is key. So, for example, that's why the battle royales work as great as or as well as they do. For example, Apex is because the map is always consistent. You always know where something is and where someone can be, and then with BattleBit it just gets completely unpredictable 20 or like 10 minutes into the map. So
So yeah, guys, we won't be removing destruction, but this is the findings we have seen. As I mean, look at the. Okay, I was interviewing also. There's one more thing. The game finals. You guys know it already. Sadly, finals is kind of sharing the same fate as BattleBit as well, a little bit right now, and we're trying to figure out why. And I was questioning people who playing what do you call finals. Like I'm trying to figure out why people are kind of leaving finals because to me it's a good game. Like why? Like it's actually really cool. It's as an idea, it's a really cool game. Like why they are why people are leaving that game. And then one of the guns that like at least said is and some others this like what do you call as they said is I don't want to be wondering that I can get shot anytime from above or below me. I don't want to think about that anytime the building can be destroyed, anytime that the floor or above me can be destroyed. It's just tiring. Like I want to play that game more what you could just enjoy, but that game is giving me time to really what do you call it's tiring. Like pretty much that's it. That destruction element they have added actually made the game much more tiring. And then they entirely advertise the game as more like you can destroy buildings, which is actually extremely cool. But as game design, actually it might not be the best choice. That's the problem. So again, this is the learnings we had, and then what do you call? Right now, those are very late to change, and then try to redesign it. Most of them, but again, we're just sharing the learnings we had from the last 6 months of release and what we've seen, and what can we do for the next feature to better. So, right now, what we can do for better. First thing, we have to 100% what do you call make the time to kill longer because in the in this chaos only the players who are really memorize the entire movement and only who is really knows how to flank. The rest 98% cannot survive with it because it's just too fast. They cannot react to it, and then because also it's very fast. Generally, someone who flanks they can take 4 or 5 people, so they don't need to really go with their teammates a little bit. So the first thing is increase time to kill. The second thing is bleeding. Actually, this is something that I have been thinking. we may actually remove bleeding from the casual game because the first idea of the bleeding was more of what you call we came from milsim games, so also what you call we make it somewhat of bit more milsim style. But when we look at from like as a game perspective, it doesn't add up to the game as something fun, or it doesn't really make it somewhat good mechanic, at least in BattleBit. So we probably be going to be pretty much what you call remove the bleeding from the main game and keep it as a hardcore feature. That's how service can what you call uh service can literally what you call enable or disable whatever they want. The third, armors. Armors are we design the armors as what you call more of okay, let's make it realistic. So in battle, the armors are literally like this. Um, if you didn't know, I'm gonna draw it with very bad stuff, so don't mind it. So so anyway, this is the head, right? And the armor is like this. It's like it has imagine the armor type is like this actually. Um, it has a collision, like it has its own hitbox. The armors. So if you shoot actually here, you don't touch the armor, but if you shoot here, it actually touches the armor. We made it because this is more realistic. What do you call? What do you call?
Kills get inconsistent because
It is very
sometimes.
inconsistent. It is very super inconsistent, and this just doesn't make the game any better. So what do you call? The probably the best thing to do is make this actually armor add to the player HP, and some way they can replenish their HP. So we keep it simple, more simpler, not realistic, and actually something that makes sense to the player. Because I seen people because Lex doesn't have any armor. By the way, Lex doesn't have any armor. I seen people actually shooting at the legs because they don't have armor, and it's much faster than hitting the head because head is what they call. They have the armor sometimes. Like it's just inconsistent. It's weird, and this doesn't work for the pace of the game. Like yeah, so yeah, we have to change the way how armor works from what it was to the more basic style, and then also maybe add something that support can actually replenish the what do you call the armors with something, or engineers actually could be good as well. So what do you call bleeding? We're gonna disable, not actually remove. Sorry, we're gonna disable the bleeding for the main game, and kind of I'm gonna keep the bleeding as what do you call something that you revive others, and then make the armor system more simpler, and then increase TTK in overall. We're gonna act also as well as we're gonna change the bullets a bit more as like damage over distance will change. So for example, if you are using SMG or assault rifle, you shouldn't able to kill someone easily after 150 to 250 meters. So the damage drop will drastically go down. So the long range weapons or DMRs or what do you call assault or SMGs, they will take their place as an identity more instead of what you call like that while you can actually beam someone really fast. But this thing, like the changing the damage over distance, we may not actually do it yet because we want to first see how the TTK will go. And then if you still feel, hey, there's still people can go kill around people with, I don't know, like a pistol or like assault rifle easily, then we actually lower. But um, I don't think when TTK gets increased and also armors adds up, it won't be that way. Um, there's more ideas, but we haven't really like talk about it or really still think about it. But in general, what do you call? Really want to make it that the game as itself stands longer than what how currently it's trending. and we have to do fundamental changes one way or another. And I know that the fundamental changes generally, some it does backlash generally after games do actually release. I think this is the best course for BattleBit for in long term, because right now the game how it plays, it's not something you that everyone really able to play, and then we don't want to appeal to everyone, but definitely we are alienating the people that could have played and what do you call will enjoy the game at all. So
It's not only you;
what the,
it's we commonly all agree on that, as from the development team. And one question that I've seen a lot here: yes, there will be testing phases for this. We will not just push it
yeah,
into the game. We will have several iterations of all these changes we talked about,
yeah,
where we
exactly.
have public servers, public testing servers for weeks at a time. That we just have everyone play it, everyone experience it, give their feedback on it, and we'll change on their feedback. Yet going in the direction we want to go. And this is something that all of what we just talk about here is not what is happening within maybe the or not the next update or next two updates. This will be a year
That's it. Oh,
or
like
longer.
entire thing, the entire shifting, yeah, that will take a while.
It,
The one hundred
this
percent.
this will be one
It won't be
step at
like
a time. So only the armor update, the infantry overhaul is like what we're starting with now. You get like the infantry like visual playing in a better state, and then everything will be a separate update
step
within a
by step
step.
mostly. Yeah,
So armor will be an entire update. Will probably also take months at a time, and we
depending. Armor is actually hold up, Larry, one sec. Armor, that part is actually not that difficult to implement. It's just
it's
the idea of it took a while to okay, does it actually make sense or does it make it worse? And then it just seems it makes more sense to have it this way.
yeah. Well, we can add more armor in the meantime, so we can push
Yeah,
this
we
up.
will,
We can
however,
do
adjust.
yeah,
Yeah,
adjust and
adjust
content at the
definitely.
same time. So
Exactly. So right now the be going to iterate a couple of times definitely, like in public testing, and then if the outcome is fine, then actually we're gonna make it live, and then after that we can actually adjust it. So guys, um, again, um, we like me, Larry, Velasquez, other people in the stuff as well. We didn't come from game designers. We didn't come from school of what you call game whatever blah blah blah. We just like we are like you guys. We literally just started playing games, and then we downloaded a free program called Unity Engine, and then make games. And then we released a very cool game. As a technically, it was very cool. Destruction, 250 people, high FPS, high frame rate story, and then yeah, it's cool. But we learned, okay, the way how we designed it didn't work. So now we are actually what you call we learn a lot of game design during this process, and now we're saying, okay, this is the stuff, and here it doesn't make sense anymore. This mechanic doesn't make sense, so we're trying to change it to the where now actually game design actually makes sense. So we can keep this game longer, and because we don't want it to die. But again, we did add content at the start, and it didn't do much really. Like the content itself people didn't really want to return a game because there's new gun or there's new map. Generally, maps are really what do you call? We would expect at least cosmetics, maps, etc. Would be really something. What do you call? Like return people return people to the game, but that wasn't the case. It's very, very, very obvious that cosmetics alone, or what do you call, like the content alone, doesn't make the game also interesting. We apparently we have as a core gameplay we have issues, and then the problem is there's a lot of games who perfect the design in 15 versus 15, 8 versus 8, 4 versus 4, but there's no really games out there who try 250 players or 120 to 120. This is the really hard part of it. Like this is the reason we're trying to understand okay what is wrong and then what can we learn from it, because there's another game we can go and learn from them or go to their developer and hey guys, you guys made also 250 player games, and then what did you guys learn? What was the key point? We cannot go and ask them because there is no real game to ask that. Like really not much. The biggest one is Battle Royale, but in Battle Royale, what they do is um, one of the developers I talked with, this veteran, like what like a veteran game designer, they said this, which was actually really, really, really interesting. This developer said me that he said, yes, we have 100 players in the game, but we try to make these players apart from each other. We try to separate them, not make them all into one pile. Like they're trying to in that game, they are trying to separate the players, separate the squads. So actually, what do you call? They don't get into a pile of mess. So what do you call? That was like okay, it's the opposite of what we are doing. And now I'm checking their player charts. It's skyrocketing. And then I'm checking ours. I'm like, yeah, this is one of the. Yeah, that makes sense. So they're trying to make each firefight somewhat something that players can focus and that more unique. Right now in BattleBit, each firefight is just massive, shooting players faster than others, and then heal fast, shoot another player really fast. That's it. So in next months, we will discuss design ideas, try to understand the design of okay, what is the objective of the player, what the game, how it plays, and try to implement more stuff. Currently the stuff we will gonna be implementing is more towards self progression because we have been implementing almost everything towards your towards objective play, towards squad gameplay, but we did not implement anything towards yourself as a progression. So we will go to that right now. We're gonna be adding more stuff that you can unlock first and that you can customize, showcasing your profile. Uh, for example, rebounds are actually one of the things that actually gonna be really, I think, huge. Later, we want to add more stuff where, for example, we want to make it that uh, when you get killed by a player, there's something in the below that makes sense. Oh, this guy's actually grinding a lot. Like at least some way of what do you call showing, hey, you have been actually spending a lot of time on your progression as well. Like stuff like that, which games actually does it. They do, and it works very well. It's just that we didn't want to do it because we want to focus completely on what do you call um, more on the objective play, and it didn't really work. So yeah, pretty much this is um, the current state. We're trying to figure out what is the design problems of BattleBit, because we did not expect it. We learned hard way, and then we're trying to just take lessons from okay, what is the state of it? The first fast CTK was a mistake. The second, by having fast CTK and having large amount of people, we pretty much made team play actually much worse. What do you call much less important. By unintentionally, by the way. If your TK was what they call slower, if the time to kill was like longer, then you would have a lot of cases where you cannot kill a group of people alone. You generally need more people in your side, so actually you can kill more enemy squads. Then you would have the need of actually okay, let's stick together because of the time to kill, it takes time, and then generally I cannot kill two players at once. But because of the nature of the fast TK, you don't have to do that. You really have to. You don't need to do that. You can just go and then empty a mug and then kill four players, and this makes team play completely useless. And then what do you call about the player count around you? Uh, what do you call? Ar- ar- about what you call amount of player around you. This is really hard to fix because previously we had really big map. Like we had much bigger map. It's possible. The problem with bigger map is it promoted sniper DMR gameplay heavily. It was a sniper shit show. Sorry guys, but That was it. It wasn't a Battlefield or any kind of game you were playing today. It was just sniper versus sniper. So Big Map did not fix it, and it was just painfully walking around. You had to use helicopters. I mean, helicopters is fun, but I I don't want to really all time use vehicles. So it was just no. Big Map did not solve it. Sadly, I don't want to play against snipers. If we do remove snipers and make Big Map, then it just become boring because you have to walk long time and then what do you call it? Try to shoot someone. Like then it's gonna be game of Tom and Jerry. You're gonna try to find players now. So Big Map is I don't think it's the answer. So we really want to still keep it. We can maybe increase a little bit, but that depends on the Velocities a little bit more as well. What he's planning ahead. But don't make it extremely large, like armor or something. No, we don't want to do that. It's just gonna be boring then. But yeah, this is pretty much all so far as a design. I can show some of the animations that is what you call as coming in. What do you call as the infantry overhaul? Again, the reload animations are same. It's just the shooting, the feeling of camera shake, etc. Like all that moving around, and a sway, etc. Again, this is in a separate project. This is BattleBit, and it's like testing area that is. I do it for testing here, and then implement later to BattleBit.
I had you muted, but in fact there is no sound. What do you mean sound died? Oh, I fucked it up again. Okay, never mind. Give me a second. Um,
Go ahead.
yeah, all good.
Yeah, by the way, there is no sound in this thing. This is again a separate project. Anyway, guys, so what is coming next? So first, longer TTK. Second, armor change. Third, animation change. What do you call? Again, the infantry overall, but they don't really change uh, the way how you were playing. Like for example, before when you moved your mouse right and left, like this is gonna be actually aiming the same thing. It's just gonna be just a bit more different animation. So it will play same. When you shoot, it doesn't distract you from where you're aiming. It's just more like visually. There's like auto happening, but the red dot, for example, stays on the target. So it doesn't really affect your ability to shoot someone. It's just what do you call as an animation. Um, yeah, this is also coming out as well as the scopes are going to get the what do you call that you will be able to customize the color, the shape, the scale, possible intensity of the red dots of the scopes or the sights, and yeah, bleeding getting disabled, and a couple more stuff you want to get into it more into. Okay, how can we improve more? But we can look into it, as well as I was thinking. This could be interesting. Make it that if you're playing on a party, again, this is not something I never even discussed with anyone in the staff team or no one. I was just thinking possibly a passive 10% XP bonus if you're playing in a party with your friends in a team in a server. And then what we can do is also I've seen that other games also have something like looking for play. So they can, for example, get into a party with people who wants to play together. So they can just get into the main menu, looking for play, and then what you call they just party with the people who wants to play together. Uh, but again, about giving 10% XP bonus who wants to play in party. I don't know if that could maybe somehow help it, But again, most people don't really care about XP. That's the thing. It just maybe it will. Again, I don't know how the outcome, if people gonna actually, if it's gonna actually work, or if it's actually gonna be just a passive thing that nobody cares. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I wish I did. So that's why I want to try it. If it doesn't work, we can remove it. Anyway, this is pretty much most of the stuff, guys, that is going on. I have been at least mostly just going to other developers, communicating, and then trying to understand their struggles in game design, and then try to match with ours. So we try to like learn lessons. Well, how can we improve it in general? And yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming into the sub progression as well, like the rebounds and the as well as also we wanted to change. We are changing the end screen, the vote screen. We will now make it that what do you call? We're gonna make it that it will show the rounds progression. Like for example, you killed 4 players, you unlocked this, you did this, and then right, you know, there's like a summary of your the round. Oh, that's not as competitive. Competitive mode definitely is in the plan. It's just what you call. We haven't get into it. We want a bit more work on a bit more the main game, and then later we're gonna implement the competitive mode. Definitely,
Well,
but
there's a little
there's still
update
for that.
on my side regarding competitive. Because we are right now looking into an outline design for competitive. Um, we had several talks with big competitive companies like ESL already, broadcasters and event organizers, as well as pro competitive players from other games like CSGO, Overwatch, well, the old Overwatch, PUBG, and so on. How they did run competitive, what is really important within these competitive scenes, and we are trying to learn of these other competitive games to shape our own competitive, so that when we start with a competitive, it's not like a trial and error phase as it is right now. That we start already with a rather good plan.
There's one person. Competitive, by the way, it's only for the people who wants to play as competitive a bit more. Because we have seen there's a lot of clans who wants to do clan versus clans, but it's generally really hard, and they do their clan versus clans in actual 350 matches. So they generally like destroy entire team, and then they just like play themselves generally. So we want to create a separate environment for those people who wants to play only to clan versus clans or a bit more competitively. Again, I don't think it's gonna be too extremely huge, but at least there's a demand for it, and then there's no there's nothing negative about adding it. It's just not having it is hurting it right now. So that is the main reason we want to add competitive. But the main focus won't be competitive matches. Definitely, the main focus will be still
Yeah,
getting to like main game mode, main battle bit. Competitive is just an addition to the game.
yeah. So it's just to
Um,
support the community
one
that
more
is
thing.
there.
Sorry. Yeah, one more thing. When there's actually competitive, we can back to the actual what you call TTK. Like we're gonna increase TTK, but when it's competitive, we can back to the actual normal TTK because now there's less players that you're against to, and as well as that, um, because there's less people now, you actually you will have to listen around you, and then okay, I hear sound above me somewhere, there's a guy around me right now, like actually use that information now, and if you didn't pay attention, that's now your issue. But you know, normally in game there's like 100 people shooting at the same time. There's no possible, it's not humanly possible you're gonna do it. If you're doing it, I don't think you're human at that point. Anyway, yeah, we're not touching the squad spawning. Definitely, we're not touching it at all. Because it's just a way to spawn and get into the fight really fast. Despite it is it is making the like making that useless because you can just respawn. We have to look at it from different perspective to fix it or improve it. but just what do you call, like, changing the squad spawn will not sadly fix it. It looks like it's gonna fix it, but it won't. It's just gonna make it more boring and then more wonky and then more frustrating. It's just that's the problem. It won't fix it, sadly. But we definitely want to find a way how we can make, okay, your make your deaths actually a bit more make sense. So we will have to look around and then try to find something for that. Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Some small thing from my side. I see some discussion about when the event launches. It is not the Discord event. The Discord event is something different. Yet that event depends on when the update launches. So you can kind of guess, but the date that is in there is not real. I don't know what the date of the update will be. As with the animation change, we had a lot more on our plate. So we probably fall. Last time we said like mid-February. This is not achievable anymore. So it might be a little later, but we'll definitely keep everyone updated. Terminal and I already have been looking at making more update notes about where we are and how far away we are from the update. Yes.
okay. All is that all on your end?
That is my end. That's everything I can say for now.
Okay. There's one more thing actually I want to say. I don't know if you guys have time a bit more, Larry and Laskis.
Sure, I have time.
Um, so the first thing that came to our mind is when what do you call when there's large player base, like when there is a huge a lot of players in the server, then we mentioned that the teamwork doesn't work because you feel always in safe, or you don't feel of danger around you, so you don't need to stick. Then we tried other games. I tried Call of Duty actually, and then tried to see. Okay, in Call of Duty, actually, I did purchase it and tried it myself because they have like 4 versus 4 or 5 versus 5 or something like that. They have much less player count in the server in the what's it called in one round. Okay, last player count doesn't make it team play. I checked. No, it did not as well. Because everyone was just playing themselves. Like, just run and everyone cares. Nobody cares of actually really being team play or something. Everyone is playing themselves. It's just their teammate was serving one purpose. And that was if you see a death icon on your teammate, you knew there was an enemy around them. That's it. That's the only thing that your teammate served. It didn't serve anything else. It was just a thing that you look at it and then what do you call it? It literally just says, "Hey, there's a guy around there, so go ahead and kill him." There you go. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Um, in the editor you have open right now, could you close the middle window? Because I think you just leaked all the new weapons.
Oopsie. Oopsie doopsie. Happens, I guess.
Anyway. Never happened. Never happened. And we'll cut this out of the VOD. Remind me of that.
Anyway. Anyway, the thing is, yeah, we are adding more weapons. I mean, at least the animations are coming in. But the thing is, I really do not believe that more weapons gonna make the game more fun. That's the reality, or make it more replayable. It's just more content, and I do really believe that more content only makes sense when there's a good fundamental of the gameplay loop. It only makes sense, actually useful there. And I think we are just missing the main point of fundamental game loop is really the problem right now still. So, and again, we will no longer try to make the game more objective based because in order to make objective, like in order to win the game, you have to coordinate entire team and they have to listen to you. Like this is the reality. In order to actually win, you have to coordinate. Okay, you have to say squad A, go to here and then defend it. Squad B, go here and then I don't know, attack it. Squad C, go and then I don't know, do something there, right? You have to coordinate all of them into a single brain, and then everyone plays a plan. and then this will not happen in BattleBit. We all know it because everyone just wants to just get into it and play it. They don't want to be a military guy who's listening orders. They don't want to roleplay that. Because of that, we will no longer try to make objective based, but more of the progression based game, which is okay. You killed 10 players, etc. There you go. You get your new weapon. You get your new stuff that you can showcase, show, and then get into different stuff. Uh, Definitely we're gonna keep it as it is. We will see if we can find more stuff, more interesting stuff. But right now, we have been trying to make it for 6 months and we failed. Like we couldn't get something that made people excited about. Hey, man, I don't want to kill players. I want to capture this thing. I want to capture this flag. I don't have any idea where we can make any player actually want to capture a flag. Unless we make it like exploitable XP boost, I guess. But which uh, that wouldn't be good. I mean, imagine if you had like 1,000,000 points when you capture a flag, then I guess people would actually do it. But then people just rank up to, I don't know, Prestige 2 or something. So yeah, you got the idea. Without making it something that you can exploit, it's really hard to do it. If you guys ideas, go for suggestions. But we couldn't came up with something yet. Really, there is no way to make people really excited to capture an objective, or excited to actually really win the game. They just people really want to shoot people because it's a shooter game. It's in the game, first person shooter. Your goal is find a guy, click on the guy. That's it. This is the entire gameplay. This is what they're expecting. This is why they purchased the game, and this is what they want to do. So you cannot really make those people go in and capture this thing. It's really hard, sadly. Anyway, I think it's a quite long talk we have also given. Yeah, it has been 2 hours again. No, one?
No, 1 hour
No,
20
1 hour.
minutes.
1 hour and 15, yeah. Yeah. So, as a design, we're gonna do drastic changes to the game, but we will not recall. We will still keep 250 people again, but we have to do some drastic changes to the battle bit to keep it long term actually sustainable. Right now, we are bleeding. Any content we are doing, we are still bleeding. We fundamentally what they call lacking some stuff. We have to figure out this stuff and then change the game into a way where it's no longer this is the case. So yeah, guys, that will be all from my end. Larry, Velasquez, anyone? Hello.
Nothing too crazy on my end. Still working on the attachments I showed. For example, we showed the barrels. I started with grips. I remade iron sights recently. There are some adjustments we still have to do with them because they don't 100% match up with the old ones. But
Okay.
that's what I am on right now. Um, Bill, do you wanna you posted 2 screenshots of the new map? Do you wanna show the new
Oh
map
yeah,
or we keep screenshots?
I will never show map on Devcast because it's not our best way to showcase map to people. It's just random watching. It's better to post screenshots and
Okay, you
give
I
the
might
hear
wanna
cast
stop.
and
something.
post it.
You might wanna stop
No, no,
streaming.
I'm intentionally
Ah,
sharing screen. I'm intentionally
Yeah,
doing
sec.
it.
so
No, no, no.
I'm posted.
I wanted to show. Sorry, because I interrupted your speech. Go ahead. I wanted to just show how the last player count doesn't do any kind of teamwork. Like I mentioned that the high player count makes it that you feel no danger, but low player count doesn't also do it as well because like I seen it as well. Here it doesn't.
I
What
see your approach, but I might not show it
how
actually in a stream. Maybe not show it. So it would be
not
great if you
here?
could. No, not here. Here's not really the right place for this. I know what you mean. I think we explained it fairly well. We shouldn't show it on an example.
Why not? By the way,
Ah,
I can't play competitive. Just wanted to show like the what you call. Just gonna get an into round, just not really play, and then try to show, hey, these guys are actually what you call just uh like there's look from design perspective. I actually wanted to show a bit more of the sounds because uh most people actually you guys and we don't really pay attention, but the sounds of Call of Duty is wow, like really well done. What do you call? Anyway, I will keep this for another time. All right, hold up. But yeah, for example, what I realize is you get into like, for example, office or I don't know, what do you call, like a open area or somewhere, and then the sound changes. Like they make you feel, hey, you are in that room. Like, and then the thing is, it's so subconscious. Like you don't realize it just fits so well, dude. The sound work of Call of Duty is, I don't know, it's crazy. But I mean, none of us actually realize it until you play a little bit and then record the footage and then listen it and then like, oh yeah, just get into this room and then the sound changed, everything changed. It's like more muffled outside. Inside you have this, you're hearing this pipes going on. There's like a computer on you right off you. Like, dude, it feels alive to play that area in BattleBit. It's like nothing. It's like silent. Of course, that they are what, trillion, billion, whatever dollar company that they have all those resources. Just I just I was just amazed by seeing that. Anyway, if you do you guys have anything else to show or not, we
Not
can
really
probably
from my
end
end
it, right?
anymore. Yeah. So there will be updates about the maps. Me and Terminal will do some update posts and videos, especially about like the beginning of this talk, about our change or our change in approach to how we develop this game and the gameplay loop. We'll write a very nice text about it still, and post it all around like Steam, Twitter, and so on, relinking to this Devcast. And apart from this, yeah, updates are still coming. We're still somewhat working on the same things. Some other things are coming approach. Little update here is, I think few still remember that I did something with Make a Wish, right? That project is still going and has more or less, well, is within its finalization. There's not a date yet, but that is still ongoing. We still run some charities with BattleBit. Um, okay. Apart from this, that's everything from my end too.
And
Then
one more thing, actually, as a game mode, we have been like we were trying to, what do you call, like make different game modes where it's like different, etc. But mostly we'll stick with conquest and like the main game modes and try to polish them. We're gonna still add the King of the Hill eventually, but we won't be adding more different games. At least not extremely different, unless there's a really good idea, a really unique game mode. Because and it also works easily. What do you call? um, like easily understandable, because we had different game modes and most of them really didn't play well. Because it was just weird. People weren't really used to playing something like that, or it just didn't really make sense, or it was just they just want to kill, but the objective is different. So we I think it's better we just stick on the main game modes and then just polish them. Of course, if there's a really unique and then really something easy to pitch, we could give it a try. But uh, there's none, at least for now. There's tons of game mode ideas definitely, but most of the problem is most of the player base doesn't really spend the time to understand the game mode, because they just want to get into the game and then just shoot a player. And then if it's more than that, generally it's really hard to make the player understand the game mode. So yeah, it's hard. Anyway, we can end the stream.
all right.
Oh, from my end,
Yeah.
I posted a new picture in the update, so anybody can examine that picture anytime. But it basically will be more bigger urban mapping, but it will be, but with limited verticality. So it will be only first floor and rooftops available to explore. So you don't need to check like thousands of windows at all. And only afraid that the city density is so high that I'm hoping it will run on better big player PC.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
some of the maps had this loading problem. It's because of the grass. We had grass bit too much. They will be, yeah, reduced.
Let me show it for the stream. Yeah, that's the screenshot that was just talked about.
Oh, there we go.
There's some really high-rise buildings here.
Yeah, new sniper spots.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about actually what Lex is actually learning is having one or two like very high spots is actually not a bad thing for snipers because everyone looks at there. Like if there's one person goes in and tries to snipes, also everyone goes and snipes this guy. So it's like kind of bit balanced. But if there was like a tons of tall buildings, then that would be clusterfuck. But there's like one or two that are like stands out from the rest, then generally if someone tries to go in and like snipes, then other people just look there and snipe it really easily. So yeah, it's much more balanced and less chaotic that way.
This will be
And
really
because of
doable.
the height of building is like mixing from inside to outside of the city. So even if you're a sniper on the top of the tallest building, you won't be able to observe every corner of the map because our building will block your line of sight.
All right.
All right. Okay. Um, I think that's pretty much it from us this week. This week I'll promise you we'll upload a Devcast. Hopefully. Well, I shouldn't promise things I can't keep in the end. We'll do our best to upload a Devcast. Yeah, no, I thank everyone sincerely for joining in. Vil and Oki here. Thank you guys for joining. It
For
was
hosting us.
a pleasure to feature you again. And I guess with this, see you all on the next one within next week. Little thing, yeah, little thing I'll still advertise here on the end is we host a weekly community game night where everyone can play with us here. Sometimes we do events like we tested last week with an alpha map.
Sorry, Larry, I forgot to mention. Also,
Yeah.
one more thing. I was thinking of at least making the beacon, spawn beacon, actually a gadget anymore. No longer squad ability, but actually a gadget that you can use.
That
What?
was be interesting. We had something like this in mind already. That we had like a one-time spawn
Yeah,
beacon.
yeah. Could be useful. You never know, and then like that will actually make it more useful because when I play BattleBit, I really don't see anyone using it. Like it's really rare because it's
Yeah,
generally that only
because
squad.
there is not a tutorial, but with the reborn system, there is a reward for reborn that people will, explore that. That's the
Well,
reason.
the problem is it's only squad leader that can do it. The problem is there's also people who doesn't want to be squad leader. They just want to be in squad so they can spawn on each other, and then they just get into the squad leader. They become squad leaders, and they don't play squad leader. This is the problem. Like we make
I
people
mean,
squad leader
I'm
without
afraid
them
that
wanting it.
if you add it on top gadget, personal spawn gadget, plus ability to spawn to make, it will make game even more chaotic and less predictable.
We never know. And we can actually make what do you call? We can add something where we reduce the amount of stuff that you can spawn your mates, but now we can spawn their squad spawns, right? And that could actually work. But again, we have to play test and see. Like, what if just throwing an idea again? This is not decided. Imagine you no longer can spawn on your squad mates, but you can spawn on their squad beacons. So everyone has squad beacon they can put anywhere, and then there you go. So now it's a bit more strategic. So you have to place it on somewhere that is behind somewhere. Could be interesting. You never know.
Could
But
be
yeah, again, we
Yeah, of
have to
interesting,
course,
test
that
but
it.
that will
yeah,
work if we will remove ability to spawn on teammates and let them spawn on objectives and beacons only. So yeah, I mean, yearly access. Let's try.
Yeah, we experiment, try, and then see what works, and then eventually the thing that works, we continue going with it. All right, we can end it for now,
all
guys.
right. Then sincerely thank you all for joining. Everyone here in the Discord, thank you for joining, as well as everyone who joined us in the stream today. If you're watching this anywhere that is not the live stream, we do live stream this every Saturday at what is it? It's 4 p.m. UTC plus 2, which is like German time. Um, and yeah, we do community game events where every Friday you can play with us. And apart from this, definitely looking forward to do more cool stuff. Alright. Then, with that said, we will redirect the stream to one of our fellow BattleBit streamers who's on right now. Oh, Snoozen is here. Snoozen is probably in chat, isn't he? Because I see him watching the dev stream right now.
Yeah, we don't understand anything from in Discord as well. Anyway, as ETA guys, this will still take a while. Like we almost finished Infinity overall. What do you call? Overhaul, and the sounds are coming in. New sounds are coming next week about the footsteps, etc. And possibly maybe explosions, but that's still been under work. Yeah, so this will take time. Will take some time, and then eventually when it's done, we will test it in playtest with you guys without pushing it live. So definitely will take a while.
Yep.
I would say
Well, I guess
easily still 2 to 3, maybe 4 week. Yeah, definitely will take time.
Yep. All right. Um. Then I think that's it. And see you all
All right.
around. Then you end the stage and I end the stream.